Hello! I'm glad you're here. I hope you're doing well. So, I wanted to focus on sleep this evening. So, we're just going to kind of ease into it. So, you can soften your gaze or close your eyes in a meditative posture. You can lay out and do this as well, or lay down and do this as well. So, I just want you to bring to mind sleep. It can be the word, it can be a thought, it can be the experience of sleep itself, and just notice what happens in your body. I'm carrying a lot of tension, a lot of anxiety. There's pressure. My throat kind of closes down. I also feel sleepy. My arms feel lighter. My sides feel lighter. There's a heaviness in my chest. So I've got quite a bit of conflict about sleep going on currently. We're just gonna take a couple more breaths here. And you don't need to get lost in the struggles necessarily if you are struggling with sleep. Mostly we're just paying attention to how this shows up in the body. And of course, I'm trusting you to honor your window of tolerance, to know what your boundaries are. Please respect those. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale. Just notice what's happening in your body with the thought of sleep experience. Okay, now we're going to take our right thumb, block our right nostril, and we're going to take several nice deep breaths through the left nostril only. So we're just going to be inhaling and exhaling through the left nostril. Now, of course, if you need to adapt this, if your sinuses are a bit clogged, do your best, right? If you can get an inhale and an exhale through the left nostril and then take a full breath between or through both nostrils, that's fine. You need to inhale through the left nostril but exhale through the mouth, also fine. Please adapt this to what your current experience is. And same thing here. I just want you to notice, first of all, how it feels breathing through the left nostril. And that includes a struggle, like everything I just listed. So if you've got some sinus congestion, not sure what sinal is, sinus congestion, if you need to adopt or adapt any portion of this, just notice what happens, right? Notice the experience of just breathing through the left nostril first. Couple more breaths here. One more time, inhale, exhale. Okay, we're going to take a couple breaths through both nostrils here. Inhale through both nostrils, exhale through the mouth. One more time, inhale through both nostrils. And you can exhale through the nostrils or the mouth, your choice. Okay. Now, this time, actually, let's just sit here for a moment. I'm not quite sure which way the meditation wants to be expressed here, so give me just a moment. Okay. Bring the right thumb back to the right nostril. Again, adapting as you need to. Please honor that window of tolerance and your boundaries. Now, as we breathe only through the left nostril, I want you to bring sleep back to mind and notice what happens in the body. Okay, and I'm still noticing some anxiety and pressure in my chest and my abdomen. The rest of my body is more at ease with the thought of sleep. Three more breaths here. Last one. Inhale, exhale. And then go ahead and bring your hands to your side if you're laying down, into your lap in Gyan Mudra, whatever feels best. And just sit for a moment. Inhale through both nostrils, exhale. And you can exhale through your mouth if that feels more comfortable. And then I want you to bring sleep to mind again and notice if there's been any shift. And I've still got some anxiety and pressure. I do still have lightness as well. One more breath here. Okay. And as you're still thinking about sleep, I want you to go ahead and shake your arms. Doesn't have to be super hard. If you feel like you need a little bit more of a strong shake, please go ahead and shake a little bit harder. It doesn't have to be hard though. And then I want you to give your legs a little bit of a shake. You'll hear my chair squeaking as I'm doing this. Bring your arms up, shake, shake your chest, round your shoulders. Again, still thinking about sleep. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your wrists, shake your hands. And then for a little bit, maybe 5 seconds, give yourself a good solid shake, not too crazy, okay? Nothing painful. Okay, and then round the shoulders, let your head roll. Again, still thinking about sleep. And as you're rolling, notice where the tension is showing up. I got a ton in my shoulders. Okay, last little bit. Inhale your arms up to stretch. And exhale, lower your arms back into your lap or along your sides. If you're laying down, you can bring them into Gyan Mudra on your knees. And just breathe for a couple breaths here through both nostrils. Exhale through your mouth. One more time, inhale. Exhale through your mouth. Okay, and last round here. As you bring your right thumb to your right nostril to block and do a few more breaths through the left nostril, I want you to inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to just let all the thoughts go. Now notice how your body feels. Inhale. Exhale. Listen to your body. It will tell you what it needs in. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now I'm going to do one more. Feel free to breathe through your through both nostrils if you prefer. Okay, and then lower your hands into your lap if you stayed with me. And just notice how you feel now. And then bring your hands together, heart center. Just gonna bow slightly, saying Sat Nam, just to close out the meditative space. I originally had something else planned for the naked pause, and when I went to go do it earlier, it completely evaporated. So maybe it'll come back later this week. Maybe it wants to be its own meditation in a longer form. Um, and then I started thinking about how many creators have been talking about having struggled with sleep lately, and just how as the world gets more chaotic and there's more horrors that we're seeing more regularly, it can feel like sleeping is a negative, or it's bad because we want to do more to help. We want to do all of these different things, right? And while that's understandable, the body needs sleep. That is also important. We can't help anybody else if we're burned out or exhausted. And we create more problems when we're sleep deprived because we're sleep deprived, right? It's going to ripple out. So I wanted to sit with just sleep in general and how we're relating to it and what's coming up in the body when we're thinking about sleep or when it's time to go to sleep and that type of thing. Left nostril breathing has really been helping me with allowing myself to fall asleep peacefully instead of just having thoughts kind of run their own gamut. So I wanted to combine these to see um, how many other people notice the shift with left nostril breathing and the somatic awareness of the place that we're coming from to begin with, right? What's the place that we're stepping from? Where are we at, right? Before we even start with, okay, well, I noticed this, kind of hard to gauge if we're not really aware of our starting point. So kind of wanted to speak to that a little bit. And then also, the shaking can feel ridiculous, especially at first. I know when I first started adding this in, when I was doing Kundalini yoga and we would do the shaking, I always felt really stupid. And it's very cathartic, it turns out. So wanted to add that in for anybody else that's having that pressure or tension or anxiety around sleep, whether it's going to sleep or it's falling asleep or it's any of a number of things, right? Um, Maybe you don't have a safe place to sleep. Maybe there are other things that are contributing to this. This isn't to diminish, it's not to hide from that. It's just to help us step more fully into that as a way to allow that unclenching to happen. So just wanted to speak a little bit about where I was struggling with sleep in case anyone else is having the same issue. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me so late in the day. I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you next time.